There is a popular meme going around these days. It says, "My brain has too many tabs open. 4 of them are frozen, and I have no idea where the music is coming from." Have you ever felt like that? Well, if you were on your computer with too many tabs open, you would simply click the X in the top right corner of each one. But when it comes to the mind, it takes a little more action. So often we hear the word clutter and we think of material things. Tonight, I want to explore 5 tips for decluttering the mind, helping you to close some of those tabs and turn off the music. The first tip is to clean your physical environment. Studies show that having a cluttered environment can negatively affect your mind. For myself, I can attest this to be true. When I walk into my home office and I see the pile of filing to be done, the stack of stuff strewn all over the floor because no one in the house knows where to actually put it, or the papers on top of my desk of things that I need to address, my mind turns off and I get nothing done. I can sit at my desk with good intentions. I can even be busy. But the clutter stops me from being productive. Another room that affects me, perhaps you too, is the kitchen. If there are dirty dishes everywhere, the stove stacked with pots and pans that need cleaned, I'm ready to order pizza. I don't want to go in there. Are you starting to imagine a room in your life? Intentionally work to clean up your physical environment, and your mind will calm down in the process. The second tip would be to keep a journal. Now, one problem with mental clutter is that it can impede our ability to focus, like we just talked about, and get things done in a timely and accurate manner. Journaling can empty your brain clutter. I have heard people comment that they are not good writers, so they can't journal. Something you need to remember. Your journal is not a high school project that you'll be turning in for a passing grade. Journaling is nothing more than releasing the thoughts from your mind. No one else will read this unless you want them to. So just start writing. Write out your fears, your frustrations, your worries. Don't forget to include your blessings. Releasing some of these will help calm your thoughts. Now, the third tip is to breathe. The ability to enjoy your life to the fullest potential depends on your ability to prioritize and focus on what is currently happening. And if your mind is cluttered, you're unable to be present in the moment. So take time right now to breathe. I recall several times in moments of significant stress, my mother looking at me and saying, "Terry Ann, you need to breathe." Well, that seemed silly. Of course I was breathing. But I learned to understand. One breathing exercise that I now use works on the count of 4. Join me right now. Let's try this, everyone. We're going to count to 4 in each of these steps. Take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now slowly release it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat this a few times as needed. Got a cluttered mind? Breathe. The fourth tip I want to recommend is using lists. Create lists of things that need to be done. Examine the list. What is one thing on that list that you can do that might make all the others unnecessary? From your list, categorize what needs to be done. What can you combine? Put some actions on your calendar. Make an appointment with yourself to focus on one specific thing. And the last tip number 5, is to make decisions. One issue that adds to clutter is the inability to make decisions. So many times we are overwhelmed by excessive clutter, both physical and mental, that we have trouble making decisions. The filing in my home office is a perfect example. The papers are on top of the file cabinet. But instead of making the decision of which drawer to open and which folder to put it in, I'll place it on top to do later. To get rid of the clutter, we, and that includes me, need to be able to make decisions on the spot. By making that decision and eliminating the physical clutter, your mind can focus uncluttered. It's time to close those extra tabs in your mind. It's time to find that music and turn it off for good. While there are many other suggestions that you can add to this list, it is my hope that this will help you get started to declutter your mind. And my question to you is, where will you start? It's one thing to hear these suggestions and to make a list of possible actions, but nothing changes until action is taken. I'm Terry Ann Porter. I hope you find a few tips in here that will be helpful to you. In the comments, why don't you add some of your suggestions on how you declutter your mind?